Hey guys, welcome to the office again. Today we're going to talk about X-ray. And X-ray is a piece to the puzzle when we try to find out what and how your nervous system is functioning. So it's one of the pieces, and I like to say when we do an assessment, we go from low tech to high tech. And low tech is we use hands to feel the spine. We want to see and feel if any bones are out of place. We call that palpation. That's kind of low tech. Hands have been around as long as man has been around, right? So then we go a little higher tech, X-ray. We take X-ray. We want to take a picture of your spinal bones and see how they're aligned. X-ray has been around for 100 years or so, so it's definitely higher tech than hands. But we're going to talk about it today. What we also use in our office, which I also love and really paints a great picture of how you function, is technology like EMG and thermography. And in future shows, I really want to show you how that all works, because it really what sets us apart and makes us different than other experiences you've had in healthcare, because we actually want to see how you're functioning. We're not fixing and patching things up and making you feel better or just dealing with a symptom. I want to make sure that your nervous system is functioning at its highest level, and we have the ability to measure that. So today we're talking about X-ray, and so X-ray is a picture of the bones, and in our office we take them standing up. I want to take pictures of people standing in the exact position they would be weight bearing. It really gives us a good idea of how you're using your body. But what we're taking a picture of is your spine. So here's a model of the spine, and just a little bit about the spine. There's 24 bones, we call them vertebrae, and they're kind of stacked up on top of each other. This would be the base of your skull. So your nervous system consists of your brain, which would sit up here, and then your brain was in the tail of your brain is really your spinal cord, which exits through this hole and actually goes through each one of these bones, has a hole in it. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but if you think of it as a donut, and if you stacked all 24 donuts on top of each other, you would make a canal or a tube. We call that the spinal canal. So your spinal cord travels all the way down here and gives off nerves out of these holes on the side, and these holes on the side are made of half a hole of the bone above and the half a hole of the one below. So when this is all kind of lined up right, it's a perfect system. When it's not aligned right and those holes get shortened or pressures put on your spinal cord or your spinal nerve, it affects its function. And when we talk about that other technology, we could actually measure if there's pressure on your nerve causing dysfunction or lack of ease through your nervous system out to all the organs in your body. Sometimes it's severe enough where you actually feel it. Sometimes it's pretty bad and it actually causes functional problems, but you don't feel it. So how you feel is not a good indication of how you function. So function is always key. I hope you understand that. So that's what we do here. So we're going to take a picture with our X-rays of different levels of the spine so we get a really good, accurate idea of what's going on here. So come on down the hall. We're going to go show you what that looks like. So now that we took the X-rays, we want to take a look at them. So before I kind of get into this, I want you to know what you're looking at. So what you're looking at is somebody's pelvis, okay? Or if I took the model, right? Remember, this is your pelvis. Or if you can you see me in the picture? It's this area of your spine. It's your low back and your pelvis and your hips, okay? So it's kind of like we're taking a picture of this. And you can see the legs where the hips are. That's how the leg bones start. And these are your hip bones. And here's your spinal bones, okay? So let's talk about this. If I'm looking at this, what I want to see is a pretty aligned spine, okay? Because remember, your spinal cord is in there, and we also know that the nerves are coming out the side. So if there's any lateral bending or pressure or arthritis or damage, it's going to show up there, and it's really going to give us a good idea of how to take care of somebody, right? So level pelvis, level spine. I would be happy to have this spine, okay? My spine from sports injuries and time, I would love that spine, okay? That's not my spine. This one's not mine either, but we're going to go on to what a spine could look like. So you can see the difference, I hope, in this spine, which would be a normal picture, to this one right here, okay? This one, the pelvis is off place. The spinal bones are moving to the side. You see this huge curve happening here. So if you think of it this way, if the spinal cord is easily functioning through here, and then there's no pressure on it, think about the pressure that's on this spinal cord as it comes through here. Think about the effort it must take for those nerves to communicate in this particular level, going out to the bladder, or going out to the female organs, or uterus, or if this happens to be a girl that I know it is, and what if they have difficulty getting pregnant, or have difficulties with their bowel movements? This would actually cause an issue. Now, thinking about it real quick, like you go to the medical doctor and we find out like, oh, I have problems with my bowels, or I have problems with my uterus, or my bladder, or whatever organ, digestive tract that comes out of here. And what is the answer, okay? Many times they're just dealing with the symptom. Let's reverse the symptom and make you feel better. But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't correct the fact that those nerves are not getting the right signal. So chiropractic, our job is to do that. So just a little bit of insight in the difference of that. I don't want to deal with the crisis of the symptom. I'd rather deal with the trying to get the body to function the way it's supposed to, so it does what it's supposed to do. You're not ever supposed to have those kind of symptoms in your body. So if we can clear out your nervous system and allow those nerves to communicate properly, then we've got a much better chance of you functioning normally, free of the medication. Okay, so just a different perspective, and I think that it's important for us to get that little bit of a shift in thinking that when we get sick, it's not always just taking some pills or drugs or potions or powders in our body. And you know what? Sometimes that may save somebody's life, so don't get me the wrong way. But the reality is, wouldn't it be smarter to first try to get normal function out of your body the way it's supposed to before you start tampering around with putting chemicals in your body that really weren't supposed to be there in the first place. So I'm going to show you one other thing real quick. So if you see this here, then you think about, well, what's going on with the rest of the spine? This is her low back. Well, maybe the rest of it straightens out and it's okay up there. Well, in this particular case, that's not the case. This is the rest of her spine. Okay, so think about the journey that spinal cord has to take all the way around and where those nerves come out. Do you think there's pressure on those nerves coming out of there? Not just in the low back, but the nerves that are going to the heart and the lungs and the intestines and the liver and all of the organs of the body. So we're so concerned with your function. Many times you might feel like something's wrong or aches and pains in your back, but we want to make sure that, more important, that you're functioning properly. What I always like to do, because it kind of shows a little more of a visualization, so I'm going to take this off of here. I'll cover the names, you don't really need to know that, and just show you kind of an image of what's happening in this person's spine. And a lot of times, people are walking around and they don't even know it. They have no idea. So that's why everyone should get checked for subluxation. Everyone should get checked for the function of their spine and nerve system. You know, how many times have you been to the dentist where they've taken x-rays and looked for cavities? How important is it for you to brush your teeth on a regular basis to take care of those bones in your body? Well, don't you think it's important to take care of the bones that are protecting your nervous system, the master system of your body that runs everything? I mean, you can get new teeth these days. I've seen them. They look kind of nice. You know, these Venetian new teeth they put in there, and they're nice and white. But you know what? You can't get a new spine. Once that degeneration or that cavity or that breakdown happens in the spine, that's it, folks, and it's going to affect your health forever. And surgery is just a patch and fix. And you know what? Most of it really never is going to put you back to where you're supposed to be. It's just going to handle that situation at the time. So you know what? Everyone should get checked from the moment of conception to the last breath of life. You deserve to have a healthy spine and nerve system. So you know what? Maybe this is a different way of looking at you taking care of your health. So I hope you learned a little bit from X-ray today, and we'll look at other technologies to measure the function of your nervous system as we go through these shows and we go further. So back to you in the studio.